Well, hello there, Sagittarius. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are going to just check in with Spirit and see what is on the horizon for you. We'll first take a look at the overall energy at this time with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance, and of course, advice from Spirit about how to move forward. So let's take a look and see what we have for you. Okay, so you have Desert Passage, trust that there's a divine plan, and Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibility. Okay, so here's the message that I'm getting. And Sag, you have had these incredible readings lately about, wanting to be kind of like that horse, that racehorse that wants to get out of the gate, right, and take off. Especially after Pluto has moved into Aquarius just almost like a month ago. But this is the energy of not allowing yourself to see other options. So the Desert Passage comes up when we feel like the options available to us are barren, right? And there's like nothing on the horizon. We can get sometimes, very frustrated, maybe a little bit even depressed about the lack of options available to you, either in your career, in your life in general, in romance, in relationships. It's kind of like, yeah, there's nothing new. I have all this inner excitement now that Pluto has moved into Aquarius, but there's no option showing up for me. What is going on, right? But that's because I feel like, and we'll go to the Tarot, that you could be focusing on trying to bring in something specific, okay? But here's the thing, there's infinite possibilities, right? And Spirit is hoping in a way that you'll allow yourself to see different possibilities. In other words, I feel like you have closed out a chapter and your energy might still be in this energy of trying to manifest something in the old chapter, okay? The older version of yourself, but Spirit's saying, no, you've moved on to the next chapter. You've moved on to the new path. It's just that your mindset might still be kind of like looking for options that no longer are really in alignment with your highest self. Okay, so let's put an example here. Perhaps you are looking for a new job, right? But you're looking for a new job in the same sector, right? Or the type of job that you've already had in the past, okay? And it's kind of like Spirit is saying, no, but Sagittarius, that is not the type of job that is going to help you to reach your highest good. You may be wanting to leave a job because you have a toxic boss or a toxic environment, or you're just drained or something. So you're thinking, oh, if I change this job and just take another job that's somewhat similar in the same sector, the same type of job, at least I'll be leaving this toxic environment. But what Spirit is saying, no, wait a minute. This is an opportunity. You've outgrown this type of job, right? And maybe it's time for you to start your own business or change careers altogether, right? It's the allowing yourself to see that one of the reasons you don't have these options is because you're ready for more. That's the bottom line, is that you're ready for more. But it's kind of like your mindset is, no, I just have to change it would be kind of like coming out of one romance and then trying to start a new romance with somebody that has the same characteristics as somebody that you've already had a relationship with, right? It's kind of like, why repeat the same type of thing? Yeah, I love this energy. Okay, so you do. You have Metamorphosis, and then underneath you have commitment and peaks of joy. I love this because peaks of joy is that sense of excitement that we get, right? But being committed to the things that perhaps are bringing you peaks of joy at this time. Okay, and then you have transformation. Look at this. You're going through a major transformation. You are upgrading to new things, right? And the reason is because you've done all the hard work. So it's time to leave the mindset of what you think that you want to manifest based on who you were, because you actually are someone that is someone new, right? You're a newer version of yourself. So it's kind of like, okay, they're saying something about computers. So it's kind of like, okay, let's take video games. And I'm not really into video games, but I can remember like back in the day, like when Pac-Man or Galactia or one of those, right? It's kind of like video games, I'm sure, have come so far from those first initial video games. And it's kind of like there's all of these newer options available, but it's kind of like you just want to continue playing Pac-Man. And not that Pac-Man it is kind of a fun game, right? But it's kind of like understanding that even though it's something that's familiar, right? And maybe you know all the tricks of Pac-Man and you can get the highest score every single time or something like that, right? It's kind of like, why continue to just do the same thing when there are newer options available to you? And I'm going to tell you, I think part of it is that these newer options are more challenging to you, right? And it's kind of like our ego can sometimes kind of come in and wreak havoc on our progress, because our ego says, oh, but look at Pac-Man. You can get the highest score on Pac-Man every single time. You're the top 10 players are all you. Look at what you've accomplished there. But look at that. You've accomplished that game. It's time to go in a new direction. Look at other possibilities. Even if these possibilities might scare you a little bit. You're kind of like, well, here's this new game. I'll call it new game. Here's this new game. I've never played it. I don't know any of the tricks. I don't even know how to maneuver the person around or whatever, right? I have so much to learn. Oh, I'll just go play Pac-Man again because I know that. And that is the energy here. Yes, this is helping you to understand, to have the strength and the courage to plant seeds in new areas of your life that are literally new possibilities, options, right? And it's allowing yourself to say, I think there's a little bit of having the courage to just kind of like surrender, saying to your spirit guides, your angels, okay, I'm ready for a new job or a new career possibility, right? Put it out that way. I'm ready for a new career possibility. I'm open to bringing in new possibilities and allowing the universe, your spirit guides, to bring you those possibilities. But if you're kind of trying to manifest a job that's in the same arena of what you know, the Pac-Man, right, version of your career, your job, then it's kind of like, well, that's not going to come in for you. And that may not be what you want to hear, Sagittarius, but it's kind of like your spirit guides and angels are saying, you're ready for more. You're ready to upgrade. You've done the work, and therefore you can go higher than what you are. It's kind of like, I feel like maybe you've been so disappointed over the last 15 years when Pluto was in Capricorn, right? Where you were kind of like confined for so long that it's kind of like, well, I don't want to kind of like dream too big, because if I dream too big, I'm just going to be disappointed. This is understanding. No, it's time to start dreaming big, because in the tarot here, yeah, you have stuck in the mud. And the reason that you're being stuck, right? Stuck in the sand, stuck in the mud, is because your spirit guides and angels are helping you to see what it is that you are ready for, what your heart truly desires, to step back into your Queen of Wands energy, right? The Queen of Wands, and it's not about gender, it's the energy of being really vivacious, right? Creative, out of the box, creative, right? Business savvy, knows that when she walks into a room that everybody wants to be with her. Very much your type of energy, Sagittarius. It's about reconnecting to who you are, and not allowing yourself to think that you're the older version of yourself. You've upgraded. And see, there's this energy of playing it safe. I don't want to be disappointed. But it's time to put your back to that. It's time to take a step into a new world. Understanding that you're ready for a more loving romantic connection. You're ready for a more challenging job, right? For some of you, you might be taking a great leap of faith and starting your own spiritual business or something. Yeah, this is an energy of really putting time and energy, okay, with the Seven of Pentacles, reassessing your life and not just holding out for the Five of Pentacles when you know you deserve the Ten of Pentacles, and knowing that it's possible, but it is about looking out at the other possibilities that are available to you. And that is a little bit scary. It is a little bit scary. And it's okay. It's kind of like, I feel like part of it is perhaps even taking a little bit of time and allowing yourself to get truly grounded in the energy of knowing how far you have come. Take a look at where you were in 2008 when Pluto entered Capricorn, right? And where you are now. You are not the same person. So it's kind of like asking yourself, are you trying to manifest the same type of things that you were trying to manifest in 2008? Or are you ready for something bigger? And I think you are ready for something bigger. It just takes a little bit of courage to say, okay, I'm ready to step out of the box, step out of my comfort zone, and look at possibilities that perhaps in the past I wasn't quite ready to take a look at. But now I'm opening my heart to looking at new things. So let's take a look at what your obstacle is. Yeah, stuck. You're just stuck. Coming to life. This is where you're wanting to go, is coming to life, right? Opening yourself up to this newer version of yourself. It's kind of like you're in the cocoon, okay? You were a caterpillar. You're in the cocoon. The cocoon is breaking open, right? But you're the butterfly that's kind of saying, I want to stay in the cocoon a little bit longer. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. If that's where you are, you're not quite yet ready to come out of the cocoon, to embrace this newer version of yourself. It's being kind and graceful to yourself, right? To say, I just need a little bit more time. And I think that that's even okay with your spirit guides and angels, because part of it is understanding that you may have been going into a downward spiral or getting a little bit depressed or just, kind of feeling like there were no options for you. But I think this reading is letting you know there are options available when you're willing and ready to come out of the cocoon, right? And until you're ready to come out of the cocoon, it's okay. Just kind of continue to work on yourself, to build your confidence, to step into your Queen of Wands energy. Know that you don't have to be the racehorse bolting out of the gate, right? It's kind of like, all right, you're going to have your chance to come out of the gate, but it's also about having a little bit of grace for yourself, of understanding that this is something bigger, newer, right? It's a little bit scary. And Sagittarius, you don't back down from new adventures or anything. But I feel like this is one of those times in your life where you're kind of at a crossroads. Am I going to really and truly repeat the past, or am I ready to put the past to rest and go on this newer version path for myself, right? And it really means that I think you have to let a lot of the past be in the past and not try to recreate any of the past, but open your mind to seeing a newer version of yourself and your life. Wow, really powerful here. Yes, you're just kind of going back and forth. It's kind of like, I think for some of you, you have the Two of Pentacles, right? Trying to juggle. Do I try to work with what I have? There's this energy of, do I try to work with what I have, or keep this job, or just stay in this same career, right? Or am I willing to try a new way, go in on a totally new path, right? Something that is completely out of the safety zone, the comfort zone, right? And sometimes we really do need a little bit more time to ground ourselves, right? To sit in that energy of being able to say completely goodbye to that older version of ourselves, of giving grace to that older version, of being grateful for that older version of ourselves before we come out of the cocoon and truly embrace. Look at this. You have the Two of Cups and the Sun. Truly making choices that are in alignment with this newer version of yourself. Sure, you know the older version. You know how to play Pac-Man. You know that chapter so well, right? And it's kind of like understanding, okay, I'm putting that down because I have mastered it. I guess that's the energy here, right? You've mastered that older version of yourself. You've mastered Pac-Man. It's time to go in a new direction. It's time to learn something new. Try something different, right? Yeah, it's so beautiful. Okay, so your advice here, yes, you are transforming. You are the metamorphosis. Look at this, the butterfly, right? You are the butterfly, literally, yes, coming out of the cocoon there, right? You are the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, but you can take your time. In the meantime, just don't get frustrated that new options aren't coming onto your path. It's kind of like, I feel like Spirit is saying, listen, we have a lot of new possibilities for you when you're ready. And when you're ready, all you have to do is say, I'm ready. I'm ready for these new possibilities. But it is about knowing it in your heart, right? Perhaps really spending some time shutting down your older version of yourself, right? Kind of like, it's kind of interesting. I think Sheryl Crow has a song. Oh, I don't even know the name of that song. I'll try to find it and put it in the description box. But it has this line, and it's, I think the song she wrote when she kind of broke up with Lance Armstrong. But, you know, she has something about putting the thoughts, the mindset, the energy of that past relationship in a box and putting it up on the shelf. It's kind of that same type of energy. It's time to pack up what you have, you know, learned in the past. It's time to pack up the energy of the older version of yourself, the Pac-Man version, and to put it on the shelf and to recognize that you can go back and kind of like, you know, visit, but it's time to leave it, right? It's time to put it on the shelf and step into this energy of knowing deep down that there is a newer version of yourself. You're looking in the mirror, but it's kind of like you're not looking at the older version of yourself. For some of you, you may have even done a makeover, right? I mean, a physical makeover of yourself, but it doesn't even matter. It's kind of like when you look in the mirror, I guarantee you, Sag, you're not looking at the older version of yourself anymore. And that might scare some of you, because when we go through a spiritual awakening, when we look in the mirror, we can actually see a different version of ourselves. We can literally physically change, right? And so it's understanding that I'm not scared of that, because no matter what, you have the wisdom of the past and you are ready for the future. Yeah, it's a beautiful energy of just, you know, if you haven't done some mirror work, you may want to do a little bit of mirror work, looking yourself in the mirror and being really proud of what you have accomplished and mastered in this past chapter, and allowing yourself the grace to get enthusiastic and ready for the new possibilities that are coming onto your path. What a beautiful energy here, Sagittarius. I mean, just really, you know, once again, giving yourself grace. You know, sometimes that's the hardest thing that we can do, is to give ourselves grace, right? To stay in that energy of understanding that you have done so much work. It's celebrating the work, but it's also allowing yourself to pack up that version of yourself and allow yourself to kind of step into this newer, higher version with the Hermit, right? Going within, knowing you have the answers within about how to move forward, to navigate this newer version of yourself, to work with your spirit guides and angels, right? Even though you haven't ever played this new version right? This new game, right? It's kind of like, you're going to be okay. All right, so Sagittarius, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Okay, these three are flipping, so let's see what we have. What is my body telling me right now? Yes, our body speaks to us. Through physical pain or discomfort, our body sends messages for us to look more deeply. See the trapped emotions, the lurking fears and beliefs that limit you, and listen to your physical body. You will be led to the source of your pain. It's time to get your healing on. Now, the energy that I got when I was reading that is that for some of you, your stuck energy may actually be that you feel physically drained, or you could be experiencing some physical side effects, like aches and pains or something. I mean, if you're concerned about it, please see your doctor. But there's this energy here of also understanding that sometimes we're drained of our energy, or we may have, even like I've twisted my ankle before and I've thought, oh my goodness, this is really my guides making me sit down, right? And it's time to just kind of like recognize that sometimes our body goes through that because our guides want us to sit down and to recognize, okay, how far we've come, to do a little bit of quiet inner work, right, in order to prepare for this newer version. And then, am I letting fear stop me? Yes. Are you experiencing a mountain of fear right now? I actually think you are. Because this is big, this is new, right? And it's always scary when we're truly stepping into something new, right? Are you stalling, freezing, or giving up? Yes. The juicy secret to that is that you are the boss of fear. You are unstoppable, but it's up to you to see that by taking action. Yeah, today, be brave and do it scared. Choose one fear and move through it. You are in need of a hero, so that is who you will become. Now, I want to say, Sag, that if you have a lot of fear, it's kind of like I feel like you have the grace to take those baby steps. Like, don't feel like you have to take this huge leap. Take a baby step. So perhaps you have a job and you're looking for another job because you don't like the job you have, but really where you're being led to do is to start your own business, maybe a spiritual business. So could you take the baby step of starting a side business, keeping your job, right? So that you can have that financial stability, but carving out some time so that you can start a side business. It's kind of like, that's a baby step. You can put time and energy into creating the side business that can grow, that will become your primary income at one time, where you can quit this other job, right? That's toxic. It's kind of like allowing yourself the energy. Oh, I don't have to quit my job and at the same time start this business over here that I haven't even thought about. It's kind of like, allow yourself that grace to understand you can transition into it. You don't have to take a big leap. Because I think for some of you, it is the energy of being fearful of taking this huge leap, right? Changing your life dramatically, right? That seems overwhelming. So see if you can take a baby step. And do I know all of my strengths, and am I using them? Yeah, we all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we are able to show up in our zone of genius. This inspires others to do the same. So it's, once again, it's kind of like, you could have been really good at Pac-Man. You have superhero powers in that arena, okay, with that game or the older version of yourself. It's time to kind of like allow yourself to open some new superpowers that you have in this newer version of yourself. You could be wanting, and it's not that you have to give up the past superpowers, but it's also about allowing yourself to see, what new gifts am I opening up to? Perhaps spiritual gifts, right? What new opportunities, what new insights am I starting to gain? And part of this energy here is helping you to have the time to take a look at how you can open up to those new possibilities, those new insights, those new gifts. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to leave it there. I really and truly do love you, and thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.